What does this Saturn V rocket and this lunar module on the moon's Sea of Rains have in common with this small piece of cardstock from my Athenaeum? Let's open up the Polymath archives and make the connection. Greetings, aspiring polymaths. Milo here, asking you to help us grow our brand new channel. If you are an indolent polymath, please hit that like button, leave us a comment, and please subscribe. Okay, so back to this little guy. This piece of cardstock, measuring just 0.49 by 0.32 inches, hitched a ride on the Apollo 15 mission to the moon on July 26, 1971. It traveled approximately 238,855 miles to the moon's orbit and then descended onto the moon's surface to the Mare Imbrium, or Sea of Rains. It spent 3 days on the moon and waited patiently in the lunar module while astronauts Jim Irwin and Dave Scott performed experiments on the surface and explored the volcanic Hadley Rill Channel in their Lunar Rover. Astronaut Al Worden observed them from the moon's orbit in the Command and Service module. Apollo 15 was the fifth mission to the moon and marked the first of 3 times the Lunar Rover was used in the Apollo missions. When all was said and done, Irwin and Scott finished their tasks on the moon, blasted off, rendezvoused with Worden in the Command and Service module, and finally started the journey back to Earth. Al Worden even managed to do the first deep space walk to retrieve film from its external location on the way back home. The 3 men safely splashed down, despite a malfunctioning parachute, in the Pacific Ocean north of Hawaii on August 7, 1971. So where did this small piece of cardstock come from? Well, it used to be part of something larger called the Lunar Module Contingency Checklist. This was the manual the astronauts would use to deal with an emergency on board the lunar module. It contained procedures and checklists to deal with any unexpected technical issues, like a fire or another catastrophic event. Luckily for Apollo 15, this particular manual was not used. This sample came from one of the original pages in that checklist. Probably this one that used to belong to astronaut Dave Scott, who sold it to a dealer. This sample is clearly one of the many edges of a table row or column contained within. Former astronauts will sell items from their personal collections in auctions to private buyers. There is a large market for any materials that have flown in space. It's not uncommon for dealers in mission-flown material to take a large sample and cut it into smaller pieces to sell to multiple buyers in the marketplace. Well-funded collectors would most likely frown on this practice, preferring instead to own an item intact. But it allows collectors like me, with more limited budgets, to own a bit of mission-flown material like this one. At the end of the day, NASA and the government, through its archives and institutions like the Smithsonian, have preserved thousands of the most important of these mission-flown artifacts for posterity and for the public. I'm often asked why I collect artifacts like this one. For some of us, these items have some kind of energy that connects one to the past. If you're curious, if you love history in all of its disciplines and fields, holding or even owning a historical item, no matter how small, obscure, or specialized, is meaningful. In July of 1971, this little scrap of cardstock was on the moon with Dave Scott and Jim Irwin, and with Al Worden in the command module on the way back to Earth. Now it's with me, and I'll hold on to it until the day comes when I pass it on to another aspiring polymath so they can get that electric jolt of holding an artifact that was once on the moon. If you are interested in collecting mission-flown material, a simple Google search can give you the names of some reputable dealers and auction houses that specialize in these items. But be careful and do your homework before you buy anything. Any reputable dealer will be able to provide provenance or a certificate of authenticity for the items they are selling. If a price seems too good to be true, it probably is. For more information about Apollo 15, check out our show notes below. We'd love it if you'd give this video a like, and please consider subscribing. Also, please look for us on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching, Polymaths. Milo out.